In the quiet hush of a rainy afternoon, single dad Ethan Harper sank into his worn armchair, cradling a steaming mug of chamomile tea. The world outside blurred into gray sheets of water, and for the first time in weeks, the house felt empty, blissfully so. No tiny feet pattering across the floor, no giggles echoing from the kitchen. Just him, his tea, and the soft tick of the clock. But as he lifted the mug to his lips, a sudden crash from the hallway shattered the peace. 3 small figures tumbled in, drenched from head to toe, their identical faces smeared with mud and wide-eyed innocence. "Mr. Ethan," the middle one pleaded, her voice trembling, "act like our father, please." And just like that, his quiet moment was ruined, but in the most heart-wrenching way imaginable. If this story tugs at your heartstrings already, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales that remind us of the unexpected joys in life. You won't want to miss what's next. Ethan froze, tea forgotten. He wasn't their father. He was just the guy next door, the widower who'd moved into this creaky old Victorian house 2 years ago after losing his wife, Sarah, to a sudden illness. The triplets, Lily, Mia, and Zoe, belonged to the chaotic family across the street, the one with the harried single mom, Carla, who worked double shifts at the diner to make ends meet. Their real dad had skipped town years ago, leaving behind a trail of broken promises and unpaid bills. Ethan had seen the girls playing in the yard, waving shyly when he mowed his lawn, but he'd kept his distance. Grief had built walls around his heart, thick and unyielding. Why get involved? He could barely handle his own emptiness. But there they were, standing in his living room, dripping puddles onto the hardwood floor. Lily, the boldest of the 3 with her freckled nose and determined chin, stepped forward. "Mom's at work, and we're hungry. The door was unlocked, and we saw you through the window. You look like a dad. Please." Mia clutched a soggy stuffed bear, her eyes brimming with tears, while Zoe hid behind her sisters, sucking her thumb, a habit Carla was always trying to break. Ethan's mind raced. Call Carla? The police? But something in their plea cracked his resolve. Act like our father. The words echoed like a ghost from his past. He and Sarah had dreamed of kids, but fate had stolen that too. With a sigh, he set down his tea. "All right, Rugrats. Let's get you dried off first." As he rummaged for towels in the linen closet, memories flooded back. Sarah's laughter in this very house, her hand on his as they painted the nursery that never got used. After her death, Ethan had thrown himself into work as a freelance graphic designer, burying sorrow in deadlines and solitude. Tea time was his ritual, a fragile anchor in the storm. Now, these 3 invaders were appending it. He wrapped them in fluffy towels, their small bodies shivering despite the warmth. "What happened to your lunch?" he asked, leading them to the kitchen. Zoe mumbled something about forgetting keys, and Mia added, "Mom said to wait outside, but it rained." Lily, ever the spokesperson, piped up, "We saw your light on. You always look sad, like us when Dad left." Ethan's chest tightened. Sad? Was it that obvious? He busied himself making peanut butter sandwiches, simple, but the girls devoured them like it was a feast. As they ate, stories spilled out. How Dad used to read bedtime tales but stopped showing up. How Mom cried at night when she thought they were asleep. He promised a tea party once, Zoe whispered, with real cups. Ethan glanced at his abandoned mug. Tea. Of all things. An idea sparked. How about we have one now? The girl's eyes lit up like Christmas lights. He pulled out Sarah's old china set, dusty from disuse, and brewed fresh chamomile. They sat around the table, pinkies out in mock elegance, giggling as crumbs fell everywhere. But as the afternoon wore on, challenges emerged. Lily confessed they hadn't done their homework, math problems that stumped even Ethan at first. He rolled up his sleeves, explaining addition with cookie cutters as manipulatives. Mia had a scraped knee from their dash across the street, and he bandaged it with gentle hands, remembering how Sarah had soothed his own cuts with kisses. Zoe, the quietest, clung to him, whispering fears of thunder. "Dad hated storms," she said. He'd yell. Ethan's heart ached. His own father had been distant, a workaholic who prioritized board meetings over baseball games. Was he becoming that? No kids of his own, but here were three, begging for what he'd never fully had. The rain eased into a drizzle, and Carla's car pulled up across the street. Panic flickered in the girl's eyes. "Don't tell Mom we bothered you," Lily begged. Ethan nodded, but as he walked them home, Carla met them at the door, exhaustion etched on her face. "Girls. I told you to stay put." Explanations tumbled out, and to Ethan's surprise, Carla's eyes softened. "Thank you, Ethan. It's been tough." They talked briefly, her struggles juggling work and motherhood, his quiet life of loss. "They're good kids," he said. "They just need a little extra." As the door closed, Lily turned back, waving. "Thanks for being our dad today." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. The house felt emptier than before, the silence mocking him. His tea ritual the next day was interrupted again, not by crashes, but by a tentative knock. The triplets, this time with Carla's permission, bearing a drawing, a stick figure man with three little girls, labeled RT Dad. Laughter filled the air as they invaded once more. But now, Ethan welcomed it. Over the weeks, patterns formed. Homework sessions turned into life lessons. He taught them to ride bikes in the driveway, bandaged more scrapes, and listened to their dreams. Lily wanted to be an astronaut, Mia a veterinarian, Zoe an artist like him. Challenges deepened the bond. One evening, a storm raged, and the girls showed up terrified. Ethan built a fort in the living room, telling stories of brave knights, Sarah's favorites. But midway, Zoe sobbed, "Why did our real dad leave?" Ethan swallowed hard. "Sometimes people get lost, kiddo. But that doesn't mean you're not worth finding." He shared his own pain, losing Sarah, the baby they never had. "I was lost too. You three found me." Tears flowed, but so did healing. Carla joined sometimes, grateful for the break. She and Ethan shared coffees, swapping stories of survival. Sparks flickered, not romance yet, but companionship in shared solitude. The biggest test came when the girl's real father reappeared. A slick car pulled up one Saturday, and out stepped Mark, all apologies and promises. "I've changed," he told Carla. The triplets froze, eyes darting to Ethan across the street. That afternoon, they snuck over. "He wants us to go with him for ice cream," Mia said. "But he doesn't know our favorite flavors." Zoe added, "Act like our father, please. Tell us what to do." Ethan's gut twisted. Jealousy? Fear of losing them? He knelt to their level. "Your dad's trying. Give him a chance, but remember, a real father shows up every day, not just for treats." They nodded, hugging him tight. Mark's visit was short-lived. Promises faded, and he vanished again. The girls returned heartbroken, but resilient. "You're better," Lily declared. Ethan realized he'd become more than a neighbor, he was family. Carla confided, "You've given them stability I couldn't alone." Together, they navigated custody papers, ensuring Mark's absence was legal. Ethan stepped up, volunteering for school events, even a disastrous talent show where the triplets performed a Tea Party skit dedicated to him. Months blurred into a year. Ethan's house buzzed with life, art supplies scattered, laughter constant. His grief for Sarah softened, not erased, but shared. One quiet evening, as he sipped tea alone, rare now, the door burst open. The triplets, now with braided hair and gap-toothed grins, carried a cake. "Happy Father's Day," they chorused. Carla smiled from behind. To the dad who chose us. Tears streamed down Ethan's face. He'd found purpose in their chaos. In the end, life's quiet moments are meant to be interrupted by love. Ethan learned that walls crumble when little hands knock. For every single parent out there, remember, you're not alone. Reach out, let others in. And to you, viewer, if this story moved you, smash that like button and subscribe. Stories like this remind us that family isn't always blood, it's the hearts we open. Keep watching for more inspiration. Your next favorite tale is just a click away.